we are the nation's largest developer of retail stores, and we've opened over 3,000 dollar stores since 1993. Um, we've been at it for a long time, and we've made all the mistakes, so to speak, and so you get the benefit of all of that. Um, we do a number of different types of stores. We do a dollar only store, which is like a Dollar Tree. Good evening. And we do a Dollar Plus store, which is like a Dollar General or a Family Dollar. We also have a new format that's been very popular. It's a 1-2-3 store or a 1-2-1-3-5 store. What's very unique about those is there's nothing like them in most markets, so it makes you unique immediately in terms of your competition. More importantly, it has either format has the excitement of the dollar only pricing, by which about half your store would consist of dollar priced merchandise. The balance of the store would be products that sell from $1 to $3 or $1 to $5, as the name indicates. What that does for you is we've taken the best of the products that Dollar General and Family Dollar sell, and they sell products, if you've been in their stores, up to $10 and $15, but the majority of their business is done between 1 and 5, and they both, Family Dollar and Dollar General, have very little product that sells for $1, which is a weakness for them. So we've taken a store and taken the best dollar product available, and then taken the best product that Family Dollar and Dollar General do sell, and combined that into one store. It's very, very powerful. If you continue to speak with us, we'll develop that in a great deal more detail. Now, our program consists of 7 key services, uh, and it's a 100% turnkey opportunity. I'll explain what that means. But in our program, we provide financing assistance, site location assistance, we negotiate the lease agreement for you, then we completely set up your store, all the labor, fixtures, merchandise, interior signage, an allowance towards the cost of the outdoor sign, 100%. We provide extensive training, both online. Right now, it's all online, but eventually we'll get back to doing it in-house once we get past this situation that we're all dealing with. But our online training is very extensive, very thorough, and it's accessible to you at any time. You also become a member of our merchandise network of suppliers. These suppliers we've developed over 24 years in business, and they are the best in the business. And because you're part of our network, you get preferential pricing. You'll save 20 to 25% on the cost of product every time you order, versus you as an individual going to that same supplier and buying that same merchandise. So that's an incredible value just by being part of our merchandise network. Um, Going back through this for just a moment, we have many different types of, good evening, many different types of financing available based on your credit profile. And when you do come on board, that is the very first thing we do. We'll know within 48 hours what type of funding you qualify for, and then you can make the decision if you want to go forward or not. Once you're in site location, we identify every available location in the area that you've given us to search in the size range that you would like your store to be. Then we eliminate the locations that for one reason or another don't fit our parameters. The rest of them we provide to you, along with all the specific information, all the demographics, traffic counts, the competition analysis, and you will have access to all that information by a secure website that we give you access to. You'll be able to see everything about every location we're looking at. You can give us your input. You'll be talking with us virtually every day as we go through that site process, and especially once we get into the lease negotiation process, because we want you to be fully aware of what we're offering to the landlord in terms of a first letter of intent, what their response is, and you'll be lockstep with us as we go through that negotiation, as you should. Um, then once the lease is negotiated, you make the decision if you would like to sign and go forward, and hopefully you do. Um, at that point, you'll know all the terms of the lease, the length of the lease, the rental rate, how much free rent you're going to get, how the landlord's going to deliver the space, is he going to finish it out, and so forth. Uh, Once that's behind us, we schedule the setup of your store. We send a crew out to put your store together. The build-out supervisor arrives on a Sunday evening, and he'll meet with you, walk the store, Monday morning, the truck with the store equipment and fixtures arrives. We have a crew there and unload it. We start setting up your store. The merchandise starts arriving Monday afternoon, and our crew again is stocking the stores. The merchandise arrives, putting up the interior signs, all of that. And barring a snowstorm or something like that, by Friday we're done. You're ready to open on Saturday, 100%. And then, of course,
Wow.
you've also had your training at that point. Um, we do everything we need to do in advance of the store setup to make sure that you've set up your business with your tax IDs, your business licenses, all of those things. We walk you through that entire process. And then, of course, we do the online training, and then myself or one of my staff reviews questions that you might have. And that always comes up. In fact, I was on a call with an owner earlier this evening. We're setting up a store this week, and he still has questions, and he'll have more, and that's what we do. Um, and again, as I mentioned, you become part of our merchandise network. We write the opening orders for your store. After we've had a conversation with you, we review the demographics of your location. We look at the competitors. We look at the co-tenants in the shopping center, and then get on the phone with you and discuss special needs that you might have identified regarding merchandise for your store. Then we put together a recommended set of orders. Good evening. We send them to you and we review them together, and you can make any additions, changes, deletions that you would like to make, and then we finalize the orders. Um, Once your store is open, that's where our work really begins, because what we do is we assign someone in our office to stay in contact with you for the first 90 to 120 days at minimum that you're open, talking to you every day, reviewing your sales by category, helping you write replacement orders, getting you ready for every season as they come online, because seasonal business is very important to us, and reviewing your sales with you by category to make sure that you're maximizing your sales in every category in your store. Um, and that continues, as I say, for the first 90 to 120 days. At that point, if you feel and we feel that you've got your arms around the store, things are going well, we move your store to a long-term coordinator's desk, and that person continues to provide that same support for you, but on a less intense basis. They may reach out to you 2 or 3 times a week, but they're always available to you anytime. And that goes on for the life of your business. And that is our program. We never go away. Good evening, unless you send us away, and I know that you won't. Um, so that's kind of our program in a nutshell. Um, as I say, we've been at it for a long time, and I think the results are very good. What I wanted to talk a little bit about tonight is a couple of things that are specifically beneficial right now, and then we'll get into the question and answers, and I know you will have questions. Right now, as I think I said in my email, is a very unique time to be getting into the dollar store business. Um, Dollar stores have been considered essential businesses around the country in virtually every state, with few exceptions. During this COVID-19 business closure, good evening, um, and because of that, more and more people than ever before have been shopping in dollar stores, specifically looking for items that they can't find in their typical grocery stores, paper products, health and beauty aids, food and snacks, things like that. Our stores have them. So, in addition to the many, many customers that our stores enjoy today, we've we've gotten even more customers to add to our customer base. And what's happening is, if you're a dollar store customers, when they go into a store, customers they like what they see. Maybe they didn't have a good opinion or a good perspective on what dollar stores are about, but now they're in the stores, they see the product has incredible value, and they're excited, so they're coming back. If you go back to 2007, 2008, when the economy took a bad turn, um, dollar stores enjoyed an incredible bump in business because people had to save money, and so people that hadn't shopped dollar stores in the past started shopping them, and when the economy got better, they stayed. There's a survey done by the New York Times a few years ago that said 70%, 75% of people that had never shopped a dollar store before that economic downturn stayed as customers when the economy got better, because they like what they found. this period of time is going to be no different. On top of that, um, unfortunately, some businesses, more traditional businesses, are not doing well, may not survive. Uh, the benefit for us is that landlords are highly motivated, like I've never seen before, quite honestly, to make deals and lock in tenants, um, because they know a lot of the tenants that they have are not going to be around in short order. They're just not going to survive, unfortunately. So they're offering lower rental rates, longer free rent periods. We just finished a lease for someone today. They got 5 months of free rent plus time to set up their store. So effectively, they have 6 months before they have to start paying rent. They'll be open doing business virtually all of that time. So it's phenomenal. Um, and, if somebody wants to wait a little bit longer to open, they're allowing delayed possession. If you negotiate your lease today and sign it, we can negotiate a clause that says you don't have to open or start your clock, so to speak, on your lease for 30 days or 60 days, and then your free rent period starts. So they're doing pretty much anything they can do to get tenants, providing complete uh, vanilla shell conditions in the stores and things, which means the store is move-in ready. Um, they're doing everything they can possibly do to garner tenants. So the people that we're working with in real estate right now, and there's a great number of them, they're absolutely enjoying the terms that they're seeing. So, so there's a couple of great things at play right now. The fact that more and more people are discovering our stores, the fact that there's great prime locations available, and landlords are bending over backwards, so to speak, to get tenants into their centers. Traditional retail is not doing well, but our business, the dollar store segment of the economy, the retail economy, is growing every year and has been for about the last 10 or 15 years. I saw an article on CNN the other day. It said Dollar Tree, Dollar General, and Family Dollar are are and have been for the last 3 months aggressively hiring people just to handle the demand in their stores, and that's not going to stop. So it's a great time to be looking to get into this business. On top of everything else, lenders, the interest rates are starting to come down. Um, the CARES Act that Congress passed a while ago, a month or so ago, in response to the COVID-19 situation, has really loosened up restrictions on using your 401k to fund your business. For those of us that have a 401k, certainly have been impacted a little bit, but you can take money out of them now virtually penalty free, um, and have a longer time to pay that money back into the 401k. So lots of good things happening right now. On top of all of that, we've created some new programs which are unique to our stores. Dollar stores just don't have them, and they're additional revenue generators which have evolved over a number of months. We know we have a lot of customers in our stores, so we're always looking for ways to provide them more value, more services, um, because we already have that customer base. So we've got a lot of interesting items right now. A number of our stores are starting to put in mailbox rentals. Um, Lots of folks are concerned about identity theft. So to have the ability to have your mail go to a secure box, go into your store and pick it up, very, very attractive to a lot of people. It's an inexpensive program to set up, and it can grow over time. You may get to a point where the mailbox rental almost pays the rent in your store. We also have a key duplication program. Of course, we put in rack programs like Little Debbie and things like that to generate extra business. You can easily add a couple of coolers to sell cold beverages, which lots of stores do. Our suppliers have Arizona iced tea and things like that at substantial discounts. And of course, you can add the EBT program, which is the food stamp program. And that creates a lot of extra traffic in your store, number one. And number two, uh, folks that use the EBT cards can buy virtually everything that's in your store. So it's a nice advantage. So those are some of the things that we're working on. That's what our program's all about. And then what I like to do is kind of open it up to questions. And I know there'll be a number of people trying to call out at the same time. We'll take them one by one as best we can. And I appreciate your cooperation. So questions?
I have a question.
Yes,
What
sir.
is the average square foot of a dollar store?
Okay. We do stores in every footprint, starting at 1,000 square feet and actually going up to 30,000 square feet for big box stores. Um, the average store we develop year over year tends to be between 2 and 3,000 square feet. That being said, we do probably a third of the stores we do are 1,000 to 1,500 square foot. And what I can say is that every size store works well in the right environment. So if you were to come on board and say, John, I'd like to develop a 1,500 square foot store, when we get into real estate, we look for markets and submarkets in the area you want to have your store in that are underserved. You may have a Dollar Tree in this location, and 4 miles away you have another Dollar Tree, but there may be some nice pockets within between those two where they can't justify another store, but there's a great opportunity to do business. Maybe there's a grocery store, or a Target, or a Walmart, and we can drop your store right into that shopping center and take advantage of all that traffic. So um, that's the best answer I can give you. I know that every store size we have works as long as we do the good job in real estate, and we do.
Okay, and just one more question, please.
Yes, sir.
Is your dollar store services associated with Dollar Tree or not?
No, we are not. Dollar Tree, Family
You're not.
Dollar, and Dollar General are all corporately owned stores. An individual like you or me can't own one. So for the last
Okay, so
24 years, yeah, no, it's a good question. The last 24 years, we've been developing stores just like them for people that would love to have one and just cannot. So that's the reason we're here. Next question?
I have a question.
Yes.
I was curious to know if I want to introduce, like, maybe something for the store itself. Is it something where I have to actually go through it? What's the protocol process for that kind of situation? If I want to introduce something.
To add different merchandise or new line of merchandise, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Good question. And the answer is you can do whatever you choose to do in the store. We're not a franchise. You are 100% the owner of your store. If you have a line of product that you think will sell well in your area, you have carte blanche to add it. There's no restrictions on what you can do in your store. And that's kind of the beauty of our program, is that a lot of our owners create niche businesses for themselves. And yeah, absolutely no restrictions on doing so.
I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
So I noticed you said something about leasing. So would you ever own the store or own the building that you're in?
We have over the years, we've had a number of people that come to us, and they have their own location that they own, and we develop a store for them in there. We typically don't negotiate for purchases of buildings for somebody that comes to us, though we can. We have licensed real estate agents in our office, and they can certainly do that. But we're more focused on leasing locations. But if you have a location that you own or one that you're interested in, we can certainly assist you to an extent with that. Absolutely.
Hello?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, how much money do you need exactly?
Okay, good question. The 1,000 square foot dollar store starts at 76,900, and then you need to have some additional funds available for your rent deposits, security deposit, some startup costs. Typically, you'd need about another $15,000 for those other startup costs outside of the cost of the store.
Okay, so do you guys finance?
Yes, we have a number of lenders that are available, and the way that process works is if you decide to take the next step and fill out an application and put in a fully refundable deposit, we review your credit profile, your credit report, and so on. We submit it to a number of lenders. There's no impact on your credit score at all. They do soft inquiries, so it doesn't impact your credit score one iota. And they will be able to tell you, our office will, within 48 hours, what type of funding you qualify for, the terms, how much, everything that you would need to know. And then you make the decision either to go forward, you like what you see, or you decide this isn't for you and we just refund your deposit.
Oh, okay. Good. Good
All right,
evening.
I have a question.
I have a
I have a question.
Yes, sir. Go
I have
ahead.
a question. All right. So, my question to you is: so you mentioned that it would be $76,000 for 1,000 square feet of space.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So every 1,000 square feet of space, going to add another 76,000, or what? How do you price that?
No, the prices go up based on the square footage, but they don't double at every 1,000 square feet. The pricing is all on our website. This is an example. The 1,500 square foot store is $98.9 as opposed to $76.9 for the 1,000 square foot. So it goes up incrementally because a lot of things stay the same. But you need more merchandise, you need more fixtures, and a little bit more labor and freight, and that's where the additional cost gets added on.
Okay. What kind of gross profit are you anticipating to make on 1,000 square feet of space?
Okay, it varies quite a bit. That's the quite honestly the hardest question to answer. What we do is whatever number I give you tonight is not going to be correct for you. What we do, sir, is once we've identified a location that you have interest in, and we know what the final lease terms are going to be, then what I can do is I do this every day. We'll sit down and put together a thumbnail profit and loss statement for that specific location because now excuse me, if somebody's talking in the background, could you mute your phone, please? Ma'am, could you mute your phone, please, if you're having a conversation? Thank you. Sir, to get back to you, I'm sorry. Because at that point, we know the final rent, we know how the landlord's going to deliver the space, but more importantly, we know all the information about the location, the population, co-tenants within the center, where the competitors are. So before you make that final decision, I go through that exercise with you, do a full P&L, estimate the revenue, of course, and the other expenses. As a general answer, what I can tell you is in a dollar store, the average cost of goods is going to be 54 to 55 cents. So your gross margin on product is about 45%. And as I say, you know, to flush out. I'm sorry.
So basically that leaves a 55% to pay salary, okay, and to pay for overhead.
Well, yeah, exactly. And as I say, we can do.
I guess my question is this, okay? Round figure. So, okay, 1,000 square feet of space with your anticipated rent, and I'm just going to use hypothetically, let's say on the East Coast because I'm on the East Coast.
Okay.
All right. That 1,000 square feet of space will net to $75,000. 2,000 square feet of space will net to $150,000. 3,000 and so on and so on. Do you have any kind of P&L or anything to do with your ROI?
Yeah. What I can do? It's kind of hard.
Idea of the profit.
Yeah, absolutely. I can do that. It's kind of hard to do on the phone. But what I would ask you to do, if you can email me tomorrow, I'll give you a call and we can kind of walk through that.
All right. So what is your name? I missed it.
Okay. No, that's okay. My name is. Let me give you my email. It's got my name in it. It's John JOHN dot LaFronz LaFronz at DRSS. That's David Robert Sam mail.com. Yeah, if you can email me tomorrow and give me your phone number, I'll get back with you and we'll walk through that.
Hey, can you repeat your email?
I'm sorry?
Hey, John, my name is Hilda.
Ma'am, hold on just a moment.
You want to give me your number?
Yeah. Let me give you my email yet again. It's John, JOHN, dot LaFronz, LaFronz, at DRSSmail.com.
What is
Okay.
recycling?
LAFRONZ, correct? Z
What
like
is
zebra.
recycling?
Yes, Z like zebra.
Okay, got it. Yeah, it's a lot. I'm sorry, John. It's a lot of noise in the background.
No worries, no worries. And you can always,
I got it.
yeah, worst case, you can always go to the website and put it in inquiry, and I'll get right back with you. But the email's quicker.
Can I go next?
Next question?
I have a quick question, John.
John, I have a
My name is
question.
Hilda, and I have my own store, and I was wondering, by me already having a building that I lease, will I be able to purchase your product?
No, we don't just sell merchandise, unfortunately. We develop an entire store.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you.
John, I have two questions.
Yes, go ahead.
John?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. First one is, all your products in dollar store to meet the price, they are from China made, correct?
No, it's a pretty good percentage of domestic product and product from other countries as well. Israel, Pakistan, Turkey, and a lot of domestic products as well. So, but a percentage does come from China, maybe 30%, something like that.
Okay, 30%. I think it is more than 60%, right? Because everything I see there in the dollar store is from China. Because that is to make the cost effective, correct? That is what I have seen. But now my second question supplement to that is, going forward, the China relationship and the trade ban and all that, what will be the impact on this store commodities?
That's a fair question, and it comes up all the time, and certainly over the last number of years. But I can tell you, I used to do a lot of overseas buying, and I traveled to China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan twice a year each. What I know, and what I know today holds true, is that despite all the bluster back and forth between the Chinese government and ours, the dollar store supply chain is so critical to China's economy that they will find a way to make it work. The other thing that I know is I've been in this business for 40 years, no exaggeration. And what I found is that the makers in China are extremely creative. And, I go back 15, 20 years, for example, petroleum. Please mute your phone if you're in a parking lot.
Oh, wow.
No, not me.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I'm watching you now. No, what I was going to say is that, when petroleum spiked some years back and plastic got high because it's a petroleum product, the makers used less plastic, more wood, more metal. When steel got expensive, they used more plastic, less steel. So what I know is that the makers are as creative, the manufacturers are as creative as they need to be to keep that supply chain alive, because it's critical to their economy. And even with all that, there's a lot of talk about tariffs, if you remember last year, certainly a lot of back and forth. The products that are imported for our stores were virtually unaffected by the tariffs. The tariffs were on heavy equipment, automobiles, electronics, things like that. So we were not really impacted to any degree. There was a number of product categories that were impacted, and our suppliers sourced them in other countries. So it virtually had no impact on us. But a great
Okay. God bless. Nothing has happened. My question is, suppose for some reason your dollar store commodity, which is exactly $1, and you add the local tax of the state to it. That's the reason it's attracted by the mass, by the total population gets attracted by this. Suppose if that imbalance goes out for some reason, will this be an impact for the dollar store business?
I honestly don't. The dollar store business is so resilient that I just don't see that as an issue, to be honest with you.
Okay.
The stores continually reinvent themselves. The suppliers reinvent themselves. Yes, go ahead, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Do you have a dollar store in the same region?
In what region? I'm sorry?
Do you have business in Colombia?
In Colombia? The country?
Yes. Yeah, do you have business here?
We do not have anything in Colombia, but you would be the first. You would be our flagship store there.
Okay, that's good.
So let's get started.
Okay, yes. I have a question, please.
Yes, go ahead.
My name is Walter Dupre,
Sir?
Yes. Hold on,
and my
ma'am.
question
Hold
is
on just
this.
a moment. Go ahead, Walter.
Since DSS is not a franchise, does that mean that we don't need to pay royalties to DSS?
You know, you can.
And that's my first question, and I have a
Okay.
second one after that. Go ahead.
Okay. You can send me a nice gift at Christmas time, but other than that, no. You don't. No fees, no royalties ever. No, absolutely not. You're 100%
All
owner
right,
of the
so
store. You keep all the money.
okay, cool. Now, if the chain of supply from China needs to be cut off, what would be the alternative suppliers? I mean, like, is another market like the India market being looked at just in case?
Oh,
What
well,
are the alternatives?
well, actually, right now, our suppliers are buying product from Israel, uh, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Turkey, Vietnam, and a number of other countries. You know, they're
Okay,
constantly
cool.
moving the manufacturing or the sourcing rather based on pricing. It's part of our business. We do it all the time. So yeah, I don't see
All
any
right.
impact, and quite honestly, I don't see China ever going away. You know, I've been having this conversation
Yeah.
for probably 30 odd years now, and they're still there.
All right, that was it. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, thank
Hey,
you.
John, I have a question.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a
Mr.
couple
John,
questions.
I got a question for you.
My
I
question
have a
is my
question.
question is this because I've been listening. My question is this.
Okay,
I'm
sir, hold on,
wondering,
sir, hold on just a minute, ma'am. Go ahead.
Mrs. Natalie, my question is, you guys do all we do all the products through you guys. All the products come through you guys, right?
No, actually, you'll be buying your product directly from the suppliers in our network. We're not a middleman or anything like that. We place the opening orders for
Okay.
your store directly with suppliers, and they ship to you.
I have a
And
question.
my other question is, so because it's not a franchise, you could name your dollar store whatever name you want to use, right?
That is correct. And, you know, what I have is
Okay.
a long list of names that have been used or considered in the past. So if you need to brainstorm, you know, I'm happy to provide that list to you when we get to that point. But yeah, absolutely, you can name it whatever
And
you choose.
also okay, and so say we do the application and you go through the credit, do you have to put money down? You have to have a certain amount of money to put down, or it just depends on your credit to get started?
Yeah, and actually it does depend on your credit, and most often our lenders can provide up to 100% financing, including working capital. So up to a certain size store, and again, everybody's credit picture is a little bit different, but I would say better than half the stores that we build each year are 100% financed.
Okay, and may I also ask you this question? So say you do get through the financing, is it still guaranteed that the person, the owner of the store that we're doing business with you all, you're going to make a profit plus be able to pay your mortgage back from the financing, right?
Well, I can't make a guarantee, obviously, but what we do is, as I mentioned to the gentleman earlier, when we get to the point where we know all the economics of the location, you know, we'll sit down and we'll do kind of an estimated profit and loss statement so you can see, you know, our best feel for what that space can generate based on all those different factors. But, you know, ultimately you have to run the business. So it's hard to guarantee that you're going to be profitable, but the fact is our system is such that, you know, we try and remove as much of the questions as possible, if that makes sense.
Mr. John.
John, I got a very important question for you, John.
Yes, sir.
Mr. John.
My question is that you talked about a deposit, okay, on the application.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm just listening to you talking about. I'm listening to you now talking about finance will cover this and cover that. But we got to look at it now that we in a pandemic that a lot of us have been laid off for quite some time, so we don't have out of the pocket money to even pay for the application fee. So how much is your application fee that y'all are requesting?
It's a $500 fully refundable deposit. And as I say, if you come on board and you can't get financing or you don't like the financing options that are available to you, it goes right back to you. If you decide to go forward, that gets applied to the purchase price of your store, so you never lose it.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
I have
But
a
what I'm
question.
saying is,
I have a
what I'm
question.
saying
Just a
is,
minute, ma'am.
a
Go
lot
ahead,
of us
sir.
have been out of work. A lot of us have been out of work, so we have other bills that we have to cover. So
Understood.
if we don't have the $500, we don't have the $500 up front, then we just out of luck, right?
No, not necessarily. I'll tell you what we can do. If you can, did you get my email, sir, a little bit ago?
I haven't checked. I haven't checked my emails yet.
Okay, let me give you my email. If you can email me your number tomorrow, I will call you and we can kind of walk through how that might work.
How about is your email on that text message that you sent out?
Yes, and my phone number is there as well. So if you want to call me tomorrow, if you don't get me, just leave a
Sure.
message if you want to talk about a deposit, and I'll call you back.
Okay, no problem. Thank
Sounds
Mr.
great.
John.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. John.
Go ahead.
Yes, my husband have a question.
Okay,
My husband have a question.
go ahead.
Mr. John, this is my question. I know in the business you got supply and demand, two elements you need to pay attention about supply and demand. Now, let's say if you have if you got and let's say if you have the business open some area, you know what the customer really demands, what type item is the customer really looking for. Then let's say could you make a request from the company to make a demand about that item, or our company go to supply to you? They have the company supply what they want to send to you, because you don't want to make a. You see what I'm?
Yes, very good question. And what I would say is that our suppliers collectively have so many items available. And yeah, absolutely. You know, it's part of doing business, as you say. If you get a customer that comes into your store and say, "I would like I'm looking for an 8x10 picture frame with a black mat. Can you get that for me?" Most often, our suppliers are going to have those items. Now, it's kind of difficult to order one item from one customer, but what we train in our stores, and what I did in my own stores for many years, it was a simple process. I had a pad of paper. My cashiers kept it up by the register. If somebody had a question about it, can you get me this item? They would make a note. They said, "We'll check. Let me get your number. I'll get back with you." And if we got 2 or 3 requests for that item, we'd go ahead and order it and then call them when it came in. Uh, by extension, sometimes you get a customer that comes in and they want to buy 24 of this placemat that you have, and maybe you've only got 12 in the store. You can say, "Mrs. Jones, I only have the 12 right now, but let me get your number. I'm going to order them today, and I'll call you when they come in." And customers love that. And a week later, you call them, "Here's your placemats, Mrs. Jones, come on in." But yeah, no, you can, if you get a couple of requests for an item, it's always a good idea to add it to your assortment.
I
have a question.
Yes.
To open that store. Let's say I put the application tomorrow, and then how long it takes you to work on the contract to open the store?
I'm sorry, someone was speaking over you. Can you ask me the latter part of that question one more time, please?
Yes. I said, let's say tomorrow I go ahead and fill out the application.
Okay.
How long is it going to take for the store to open?
Okay, good question. The first step, obviously, is the financing. We'll know within 48 hours if you can get funded and what that funding will look like. If you like that, we move your project into real estate. We start looking at locations. That process typically takes about 30 days. It's the one part I don't like to rush because I want to make sure that we look at every location available so you have the best choices in front of you. Then, once we find that location, you sign your lease. About 30 days for us to get the merchandise and the fixtures to your store, set it up, and you're open. So easily within 60 to 90 days.
Okay, because I have someone that I knew that opened one of the dollar store because the area it was very expensive. She cannot afford it. She said the business is great, but the rent is too expensive for her. She could not manage.
Unfortunately, sometimes that does happen, and it's hard to speak to it because I don't know what type of operator she is. There's a lot of factors that can go into that. But as I say,
Right.
we always try and do a P&L on every location before somebody signs a lease to make sure that the numbers are realistic. But as I say, once the store's open, it's kind of hard for us to control what happens in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, how about the merchandise? So it's not sell everything, so that's going back to the supplier?
Okay, good question. The first part of the answer is no. Once you have purchased the merchandise, you own it. You know, and I haven't gotten that question for a while. I'm glad you asked it because in our system with our suppliers, because they get so much business from our stores, we're able to have them ship what's called inner packs. Normally, when you buy merchandise, it comes in a master carton, which is usually 72 or 144 pieces of an item, which is a lot. So what our suppliers do is they will ship an inner box from that carton to you. So maybe it's 12 or 24 pieces. So that does two things for you. It enables you to have more assortment for the same inventory dollars because you don't have to have 12 dozen of that a feather duster. You can have 1 dozen and keep reordering it, and you can have a number of other items because you have that money available to you. And because you only have a small amount of any given item, even if an item is a little bit slower seller, you move it to another location in the store, and typically it just walks out the door. It's never an issue. It's a great question. I appreciate that.
Okay, so you cannot return it. So
Cannot
you need to
no.
do something about your stuff. Okay,
That
it's
is-
not
that
like
is-
a consignment store, right?
That is correct. Yeah, you own the merchandise once you bought it.
Okay.
Hey, I've got a
Okay.
question.
Yes,
I got
sir.
a question about that.
I was wondering.
So what if something comes in and is damaged? And do they accept it back then?
Yeah, there's two things that can happen. If it's damaged because it was packed poorly, it goes back to the manufacturer, the supplier. If it's a freight damage claim, then you file a claim with the carrier, the freight company, and then they make it right for you. And that's all procedures that we go over in training. There's another question. Another gentleman there?
Yes, I have one. Yes. What I want to know is I've already, I appreciate the QA, but I've already gotten all the questions I needed to get answered.
Okay.
What I need to know is if I leave now, do I need a code or something like that to receive the discount package that I was spoke with David about?
No, not at all. If you put the
Okay.
deposit in, you know, I have a listing of the phone numbers, so yeah, no problem at all. But always make sure to mention
now my
when you put
sister-
your deposit in, but for sure, you're good.
Sure. Well, me and my sister are both getting ready to go ahead and open one, and she's here with me. We just called in on my one line.
Okay.
So I need
what's
to
your
make
name,
sure
sir?
both our names were listed. Yeah.
What's your name?
My name is Antonio Moore.
Okay. And your sister's name?
Arlethea Jones.
Alithia Jones. Yeah, no problem. We'll take care of that for you.
I have
All right. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Anthony.
John?
Take care, Antonio. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
John?
Yes.
Yeah, I may have to drop, so may I have your number to call in case?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me give you my. I'll give you my cell number. It's 702-570-3911. And if you miss me,
I'll repeat 702-570-3911.
3911. And if I don't pick up, just leave a message or send a text. I'll get right back with you.
Sure.
Is it 702?
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
702-570-3911.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah, and as I say, if you don't get me, leave a message. I'll get right back with you.
Hi there, John. This is Loretta. I have a quick question.
Yes.
Hi there. So you mentioned that you have a pool of lenders that you can obtain funding from.
Correct.
Do you know if those pool of lenders work with new business or prospective business owners in order to obtain like special funding, like for small businesses, women-owned businesses, veterans, coronavirus? Because I know there are some coronavirus grants that are out there.
Those
Do you
are
know if they offer sort of special finances for new business owners?
Well, the specific lenders do not. However, those other programs are available to us. So when you get into finance, we talk about all that small business administration. There are some programs, as you say, for women-owned minority businesses, things of that nature. So we can work through all of that with you.
Excellent. So the loan consists of just setting you up and then from there on out we make payments back to the lender.
That is correct.
Okay, and that's monthly.
I have a question again.
I'm sorry, is that monthly?
Yeah, typically it would be monthly, yes.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Yeah, is the form to be completed online now?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
The form to be completed, is it online now?
Yes.
The form. She wants to know the form. Okay.
Yeah, but have you spoken to a sales rep in our office? I can have someone call you tomorrow. It's probably easier because they can do it right over the phone.
Okay.
What is?
Hi, John.
Hold on one second, ma'am. If you want to give me your name and number, I'll have someone call you.
Okay, my number is 214-404-1473.
1473. Okay,
That's
214-404-1473.
That's correct.
And your name again, ma'am? I'm very sorry.
My name is Ola, O-L-A.
Got it. Very good. I will have someone call you in the morning.
All right.
Hi, John. It's me, Lenora. I have a question again.
Go ahead.
Okay. How about you already have the location and are you helping us, the business owner, to find workers to help with them, or we are going to provide?
To actually operate the store?
Yes.
We can put an ad together that you can use to advertise for help, but I always recommend that the owner actually do the interviews and make the selection because they're going to be your staff, and it's always better to do face-to-face. You have a good feel for the people that you're going to add to your business. I think that's very important. But we can always craft an ad, send it to you to put on Craigslist or whatever to get the interview set up.
Okay. Mr. John.
Yes.
Do you also put camera on the store? Do you guys include those camera security there? And also, the other question is, do you know how much maximum we have to have on hand for the lease?
For lease, it varies so much by area. Typically, I was going to say typically, I was going to give you a number, but it's kind of all over the map depending on where you are geographically. But as soon as you come into real estate, if you get to that point, you go through finance, you get into real estate, the first thing we absolutely do is do a rent survey. So we see what the asking market rents are in your area, and then we kind of move forward from there.
Mm-hmm.
What about
is it okay if we look for
I'm sorry?
What about the camera number? Did you guys add that on the
moment? We're still on this lease question. What I'm going to say is,
Mr. John.
Just a second.
So I have a question. Is there any assistance with the business plan?
Yes, absolutely. We will do that at no charge.
Okay.
Go back, ma'am, there's a question about the lease I wanted to answer for you. Are you still there?
Yes.
Yes. What I was going to say is, once you're ready to move out of finance and into real estate, what we do is we do a full worksheet that estimates all those other expenses, because we want to make sure that your funding is going to cover them. So that's the first thing that we do as soon as your financing is. So say we know that you're going to do 1,000 square foot store. We know what the package price is, and we know where you are geographically at that point. So we estimate the rent, we estimate the cost of the business licenses and all those other expenses you might encounter, and we make sure you have funds available before you start to work in real estate.
Okay.
We'll make sure that you're positioned.
I have a question.
Hey, Mr. John.
Do you guys add security camera on the store too?
I'm sorry, say that again, ma'am?
do you guys add the security camera in the store?
We can.
Like the security camera?
We typically do not, but if it's something you really want, I'll work something out with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Now,
yes, sir.
We have a
Hi, John.
Hold on. This gentleman is next. Go ahead, sir.
If we have a location already, what would be the starting process? What would we need to do?
If you have a location, you have a location already?
Yeah, I do.
I left a message on his phone, and he should be getting back with me. The building is available. They trying to sell it, and
okay.
I was looking to see how soon how would the process work? Going to the finances.
What we'd want to do, so you would be looking to buy that building, correct?
I kind of think he's leasing it.
Okay.
I kind of think he's leasing it because it's in a plaza center. He owns the whole plaza center.
Gotcha.
So,
so what would happen? What would happen is as soon as your application comes in, we'll confirm the funding, and then we'll get right into real estate, and that's the first call we'll make.
Okay. Now, on that issue, I would have to get in contact with him to get in contact with you all, or he just go through me.
We would do that for you. We would just need the information.
Now I submitted my application already and paid the $500 fee.
Okay. All right. What was your name, sir?
My name is Sullivan Smith.
Sullivan Smith.
And my partner is Frida Smith Coleman.
Frida Smith. Okay. Let me get your number if I can, Mr. Smith, and I will check and I'll call you in the morning.
Okay. My number is 318. 450.
450.
20. 46.
Got it. 46.
I'm in Bastrop, Louisiana.
Okay.
Bastrop, Louisiana 72220.
220.
71220.
Got it.
71220.
I'm gonna pull your file in the morning. I'll give you a call.
Okay.
Hi, John.
Great. Okay. Thanks so much.
Can I go now?
All right.
John, can I go now?
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so my
Hi,
question
John.
is, so
One moment, ma'am.
So
somebody else is speaking.
So this is Miss Sam from Virginia. So my question is, once we start the business, so once we see the building and all the lease and all, then do you guys charge the management fee as well, or the management fee
No.
will come in the package?
No, there's no other fee. You pay us one time the cost of the package, and that is it. Yeah, you never pay us another penny.
The cost of the package. Okay, the cost of the package includes the management fee as well, yeah?
Well, yeah, the support that we give you after opening, it's really not a management fee, but yes, it's all included.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Thank you, sir.
So what's the cost of the package? Because I'm sorry, I kind of came in late.
No, that's okay. The prices are based on the size of the store space. They're all on our website, but it starts at $76,900 for a 1,000 square foot store.
Okay.
Okay, next question.
Hi. Can I?
Yes,
Hi,
go ahead.
It's me, Eleonora. Can you get my number? So because I cannot too much understand everything, it's very noisy.
Sure.
Can you call me back in the morning, please?
What's your number?
352. 562.
562.
2029. 2029.
Got it. And your name? I'm sorry.
29. Leonora.
Leonora. Okay. I will call you tomorrow.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. One more. The 76,900 includes the first merchandise too?
Yes, includes the merchandise, the fixtures, all the services, the finance, the real estate, everything. 100%.
Including the layout and all too, yeah?
All of it,
layout
yes.
and all too.
Yes, sir.
Taxes?
And would it be? I'm sorry. Somebody.
Yes. Go ahead. Next question.
So I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I have a question. What's the minimum credit score that's required?
That's a good one.
The lenders vary a little bit, but if you have they normally look for about a 680 or so. If you're close, some of the lenders even offer to do a little bit of credit repair or can walk you through what you might have to do. But never assume my overriding comment is always never assume that you can't get funding. Let's look at it and see what we can.
Okay. And is there any special benefits for military?
Yeah, we have if you're military or former military, we have a discount that we can put in place for you as long as we just need your D214.
Okay. Okay. Awesome.
And thank you for your service.
What about?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Is there any assistance with payroll? Is the accounting part of it?
Well, in training, we go over the basics of all of that. And there are a number of resources if you want to have an outside firm do some of that. We've got relationships with a couple of companies that are very cost effective. They can do that for you. In fact, they've got all different types of packages. You just want payroll, or if you want them to do your monthly sales tax returns, whatever you want to fold in, they will come up with some pricing for you. But the basics we cover in training, and most often you can do it yourself, but sometimes it's nice to have the comfort level to say I have a company that does this for me, and I know it's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, when I had my own stores, I had somebody do it. I just slept better at night.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Next question.
Very true.
Hello. Yes. Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I got in kind of late because I was at work. Well, I kind of missed most of the stuff you guys were saying, like the $500. What is that for, and who do I send that to?
The deposit, the $500.
Okay, and I deposit that where?
What I can do, I'll have someone call you in the morning, sir, if I can get your name and number.
My name is George Baker. My phone number is 314-210-6861.
Very good, Mr. Baker. I will have someone call you in the morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Could I call you tomorrow after 5?
After 5, yeah. What part of the country are you in?
I am in Florida.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a call. You have that number?
Yes. I already got the number. I want my husband to be there since he's working tomorrow morning, but he will be home at 5 o'clock.
Sure.
So I want him to be with me when I call.
Sure, no problem. Give me a call. If you miss me, leave a message. I'll get back to you as quick as I can.
Thank you.
Happy to do it. Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. John, I have a question.
Go right ahead.
Besides the $500 deposit, doing financing, do we have an option if we want to make a deposit towards that $76,000 if we wanted to do the 1,000 square footage?
My same question.
You can, but you really don't need to. You don't need to. I don't like folks to pay us money until we know that we found a location that you like. You can certainly do that, and if your project doesn't go through, we'll refund it. But it's not necessary. The $500 gets you into finance. If you can secure the funding through one of the lenders, we just get you into real estate and go to work.
I just wanted
one moment. Go ahead, ma'am. Finish your question.
If we wanted like a lower, a monthly payment for the loan.
Yeah, absolutely. You can bring some of your own funds to the table, and a lot of our clients will do exactly that. They may say, okay, I'm going to do this $76,900 store, but I have $30,000 of my own. Absolutely, you can put that in and just finance the difference.
I was going to say, is that possible if your score is a little lower than 680?
Yeah, I would say let's get you in. Let's take a look at it. Let's see what our lenders can do. Sometimes, like I say, they can do some credit repair. It's not hard to bounce your credit score up 30, 40 points. You'd be surprised.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mr. John, I'm sorry, I wasn't finished yet. I wanted to know, do you finalize everything before you find a store with the finance, or is it possible like after we finish finding the store, then I decided, I said, you know what, I want to put like a 30% down towards the loan? Is that possible, or is it something that needs to be done up front?
No, actually, that's a good question, and the answer is you can always say you get qualified for the money you need, 100% finance. You're in real estate, then you get to the end. You can always tell the lender, I don't need all that money, I just need this much, and then you just pay the difference to us. It's fine. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes that happens,
Okay.
and sometimes somebody will come back and say, I was going to do this 1,000-square-foot store, but now I'm looking around. I think I might want to go a little bit bigger, and I've got this $30,000. So maybe we fold the two together and we look for a little bit larger store. There's a lot of ways to do it, but yeah, you're not locked in. We just need to know that when we start working in real estate, that you have the funds available to do the size store you initially want to do. And if you later say, I'm going to use some of my cash and reduce the amount of the loan, that's perfectly fine.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Hey, John, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you were mentioning about having to be a member for the warehouse. Is there a fee, a yearly fee for that, just to be on that membership?
No, I'd love to say there is. You can send it to me personally. No, there's no fee at all. It's part of the package that you initially buy.
It's part of it. No, okay. So what about any other fees that besides all your your lease and all that? Any kind of hidden fees that there might be?
No, really, no. And what I can tell you is, as I think I mentioned earlier, you might not have been on the call or heard it, but before you move from finance to real estate, we estimate all the other expenses that you might incur that you're going to want to have funds for. For example, usually the equivalent of 1 month's rent and 1 month's security deposit, because the landlords always want that. And we set aside some money for general startup expenses, because you're going to have utility deposits, you're going to have to get a business license, there's some things like that. I even set aside some money on that worksheet for your first reorder of merchandise to make sure you have that money in hand. Chances are you won't need it, but you want to do some orders as soon as you open to have product rolling, because it's going to take a week or two to get reorders in, and you want to make sure you've got product in your store. So I estimate some money for that and a little bit of extra working capital. I also estimate the sales tax, because a portion of the package in most states is taxable. So we'll collect that tax and we pay it to the state that you're in. And that's basically it. No, beyond that, there's nothing hidden. Everything's right up front there for you. And
so what
again,
about
once you're open, you
sell food?
Say again, sir. I'm sorry.
So what about like if you sell food? Is there kind of like a city inspection that is required of one who owns one?
Yeah, usually you need like a health permit, and again, that's already included in those estimates of startup expenses that you're going to have.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we try
So
to
complete setup.
And I'll tell you, the estimates that you get are much higher than what your actual cost is going to be. Like I'm looking at one right now, actually, for a person that we did, and we also estimate. Sometimes when you sign a lease, the landlord will say, "Okay, I'm going to do the flooring, I'm going to do the paint, I'm going to do everything." Sometimes a landlord may say, I don't want to mess around with that. If your tenant can do it, I'll give him an extra month's free rent, or I'll give him an allowance of so much per foot if he'll do the paint and the flooring, and I'll pay him back. So we even estimate, excuse me, what that might be if you have to do it. We want to make sure you have those funds available. Most often you don't need them at all, but we always overestimate on the startup expenses to make sure that you're well covered. Next question.
Mr. John.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the average profit margin?
Hold on, there's a young lady speaking. Go ahead, ma'am.
Sorry.
That's
okay.
Do you
know which credit bureau you guys use? Which one do you use?
I think most often they look at Experian.
Experian. Okay. The middle guy.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
The middle guy. You're absolutely right.
The lowest one, of course.
Well, we try. I mean, ultimately, when you run a credit report, you see all of them, and they kind of take a mid score pretty much. Is what happens. So.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just asking the question of what is the average profit margin?
Okay.
From a yearly perspective.
Okay. On the merchandise, the average cost of goods in a dollar store is 54 to 55 cents. So your gross margin on product is about 45%. And then, of course, you've got your operating expenses and so forth. So what we do, I don't know if you're on the call earlier, but what we do is when you finalize a location, you know you want this one. We know what the rent is. We know everything there is to know about the location. I can sit down with you and do an estimated profit loss statement for that location. I'm happy to do it with you before you make that big decision. Any other questions? All right. All right. Well, I thank you all very much for your time this evening. I appreciate it. You've got my cell number. If you have any questions at all, give me a call or send me an email. And if you're working with a rep in our office, they'll be following up with you as well, I'm sure. But again, I thank you all for your time. I'm sorry?
One last question.
Yes. Go ahead.
Once I'm ready to send you the $500 for the application, and I find the place, can I actually give you the location and everything?
Absolutely. Yeah. If you have a location of interest, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll look at that. We'll look at that first.
Mr. John,
yeah.
How do you fill out the application? Where to go?
I'm sorry?
How can I find the application? I have to go to your dollar store. What is it?
It should be on dollar store www.dollarstoreservices.com. But if you'd like to give me your name and number, I can have someone call you tomorrow.
Stephanie. S-O-P-H.
What's your phone number and name?
Hold on just a moment. Okay, and your phone number, ma'am?
772 985 7690.
7690. And can I get your name again? I'm very sorry. There was some noise there.
Stephanie. S-O, S as on Sam. O-P-H-O-N-I-E.
Very good. I will have someone call you in the morning.
I didn't get your cell number and name.
I'm sorry?
I didn't get your cell number and name.
Okay, my name is John LaFronz. It's LaFronz. And my number is 702 570 3911.
570. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And again, if you miss me, leave a message. I'll call you back. Thank you all very much. Any last questions?
Sure. And was this all recorded?
Yes.
You can go back and listen to it?
Yeah. In fact, what I'll do tomorrow is probably tomorrow or Monday at the latest. Everyone that's been on the call, I believe I have all your emails in a file. We'll send you a copy of the recording.
Awesome.
Okay.
Hey, John, can I get the last four numbers in your phone number?
Sure. 3911.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Great. And again, if you miss me, leave a message or text. I'll call you right back.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Include your name if you can with the text or the message so I know who I'm calling.
Will do. Thank
you so much. Thank you all very much. Any other questions? All right. You all have a wonderful evening. Thanks again for your time. I very much appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care now.
Well, thank you so much. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.